Hey, how's it going? All right, let me share one moment. All right. Very good. So let's kind of walk through where we were last time. So we started developing our fight mechanics last time. And let's kind of walk through where we're at. So we have all of our movement down. That looks good. We did get some attack mechanics. Pretty basic ones. Some health. That does damage the opponent. As you can see over on the left side, we do have how much we're doing in the person. Obviously it doesn't look great right now. That's okay. We'll make it look better. Okay. And then, let's find someone with less health because that's going to take forever. We'll do that. Okay. Okay. Then when we knock someone down, and get rid of all their health. Oh no. Okay. Interesting. What a bug, what a time. Okay. So then we can take them out. Okay, so here's what happened. What happened was I attacked them to damage, but the old animation hadn't finished. So therefore it kind of bugged out. That's okay. Not too worried about it right now. I'm going to try to get a somewhat working kind of playable demo in place. Maybe not a demo yet. I don't want to call it a demo. It's more just a concept, a prototype. Because right now, I mean, I could take my dude and just slide him across the floor. This right here, this is peak gameplay. That's a sign of a good game. I mean, this is everything you ever wanted in a game. So, ultimately, coming along, I do like this a lot. Okay, anyway, we're done with that. So let's see. What I want to do now is I want to start my rounds, right? So what I need to do first is kind of develop a new stat. So this is pretty easy. I think I want to make this stat speed. Okay. So the apprentice class will have a speed of like 6. Doesn't matter right now. I mean, there's a ton of balancing stuff that needs to happen. So I'm just gonna put something there, and this one's gonna have a speed of like 5. Just so we can have some difference here. Okay. And then what I'll do is, let me make sure that's saved here. Yep, that looks good. So then what I'll do is I need to make a new variable here. So that variable will be C at onReady var speed int, and then we'll have var we'll call it like priority priority. Go start at 0. Then on ready, we're gonna say speed equals. What am I doing here? Oh, I'm loading class. Okay. So down in load class, I'll have speed equals assigned class dot speed. Is it speed? I think so. Yes, speed. I need to add some descriptions. That'd probably be helpful. Okay, so now I have assigned class dot speed, and then I need my new variable, which is priority. Okay, and then I need a new node here. I will probably make it part of the world. I'm trying to think here. I don't think I want it part of the world. Navigation should actually probably be part of this. Well, it's okay for it to be part of the world, I guess. You have to have a map. Navigation. I wonder, I guess everywhere that this address is world, it's this. Let me think of where I would put this. So this is gonna be like the ticker and the mechanics. I will probably have a new node. So I have like environment, I have world. I'm curious, if I just drag this, there's no way this works, right? I really doubt it even plays. So I've got to reference the parent somewhere. I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, just navigation dot. Honestly, that's not bad. I mean, huh. Honestly, it might be nice to move this here and have environment be all my like standard things that just kind of followed around, and this should just be the map. That's kind of nice. Not bad at all. So let's see. One moment. Okay. All right. So then what I would do is, let's just modify this. So instead of navigation, I would make this a unique name. Instead of navigation like that, I'd say navigation like this. And let's find anywhere I call out navigation. So here. Okay, I can delete that. I don't think I use it anywhere else. I think that's really the only spot. So that may have been that easy, which is good. I mean, that's a good sign that my code is pretty mobile and pretty modular. So that's great. I feel pretty good about that. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, nice. That is pretty modular if I can do that. All right, I feel pretty good about that. Okay, let's see. So with that being the case, now under environment, I'm gonna make environment kind of my general node. Hey Ace, good to see you. Glad you're able to stop in. About to start working on the turn-based system. And so maybe I call it like player priority. And so, yeah, we've come along, I think, a little bit since you've last popped in. We were kind of going off last night or night before, whenever that was. We're making good progress. And so, got the movement, got the attack down. I got a system where I can deal some damage. It's obviously not pretty yet. Right now, that's on the list of things to do, not the most important yet. So I can do some damage, which is nice. For sure, for sure. And then you can see over in the corner, you can see how much you're gonna do. Right now it's just super basic. It's just takes the attack and applies it to the health. We'll develop some algorithms later. So yeah, so not too bad. So now we're gonna start kind of the turn-based system next. Oh, and then don't think you've seen this yet, but this is kind of nice. It's kind of nice. Here, let me show you this. So I'll go ahead and surround somebody real quick. Deal some damage. Yeah, for now I'm just kind of using all placeholder animations from Mixamo. So Mixamo is a great website for animations and characters as well. I mean, that's where these characters came from. It's just Mixamo. But yeah, I took all the animation, all the rigging and everything from there. And it's not too bad. I mean, it's obviously not perfect, but not bad for my prototype. Honestly, the animations, there are so many animations available on there. I may continue to use animations. All right, so here, check this out. So then, when someone dies, they actually fall over. And so yeah, and then you have the added benefit that you can now move them around. Obviously, I just haven't coded to make you say, hey, if you're unconscious, don't move. So you still have that luxury. Exactly, yeah. I think once probably not even 60-70% done with the game. I think what I'm gonna do is after I get all like the mechanics in place and kind of the basics, even if I'm like, honestly, because this is an RPG and there's gonna be a huge story component that's gonna take a really long time to develop. I'm not, kidding myself that it's gonna, I have to have multiple levels. I have to do a bunch of stuff. And I am making this as modular as possible so I can do that quickly. That's the whole point of this modularity I'm doing, right? So I can quickly build levels, so I can quickly tell stories, and it's easy to tell a story I want to tell. But I think there's still a lot of development left. So I think once I get kind of like 20 to 25% done, once I kind of get the core, like a vertical slice of my game, once I say, hey, this is what this looks like, this is how I want to, then I think I'm going to start commissioning custom ones. And that's probably when I'll start focusing a little bit on graphics and stuff. And then once that looks good, I'll go ahead and post that. I'll essentially have a demo at that point. So you'd have like a full battle. You would have all the art would look good, all the animations would look good. You'd have kind of generally what the game would feel like. And then that's when I would create a Steam page, go ahead and post it on Steam, and I can start collecting wish lists and things. So it'll be pretty early on. So yeah, shouldn't be too bad. Okay, I'm gonna fix a couple things real quick just because I noticed them while I'm here. So one of the things is when I'm unconscious, here, I'm gonna say current health equals 0 first off, because I went below 0. I don't need to go below 0. And then I'm just gonna say, I think I can just say velocity, actually like this. Velocity equals vector 3, 0, 0, 0. So you can. So actually most people export maps from Blender, right? All the examples I found of everybody, they export maps from Blender whenever it's a game like this. But I didn't want to do that. So what I wanted to do was be able to customize and design it like in the engine, right? And so I used Godot's grid map system, which is pretty good. So I can actually come in here and I can like make edits live. So I can, if I wanted to put a bush somewhere, like obviously the graphics are really bad because this is just a free asset pack. But yeah, if I want to go out a bush, I can do that. So this is honestly really nice, way better I think than designing it in Blender because one, I can have procedurally generated maps. So at some point in my game, the plan is you get to some dungeon and there will probably be a procedurally generated dungeon close to the end game to have content, right? So you can go find gear and that sort of stuff there. And it's all procedurally generated, so it'll be different every time. But what I can also do here is quickly kind of design maps how I want to and not have to do everything in Blender. It's a little bit more like this. Plus, I mean, I could even have the community be doing that if they were interested in developing maps. So yeah, I understand. It is definitely intimidating when you first kind of look at it. So completely understand. absolutely think the way to do it though is just kind of find a fun game that you want to do and just go for it. It's something simple, and I think once you get into it, we talked about this before, but I think it's the way to go. So, well, I'm rooting for you. And then, of course, like I said before, if you have questions, you get stuck, you're always welcome to either message me on here or ask me in stream. Happy to take a look at some stuff. Not worried about it at all. All right, so I think all I changed here was if you go to 0 or below, it stops it, caps it at 0. I'm just gonna test that real quick. All right, let's see. I guess I really only need one person for this. Yeah, of course. All right. Let's see, what are we at? 25. So this is pretty good. One thing I need to do, I think, is you can see like that animation takes kind of a long time. I don't think you would ever get to that point of it taking a long time because like it's a turn-based system, you'd probably be thinking, but I probably want to be a little smoother. So yeah. And then the health is 0. And then if I attack him again, it'll let me attack him, but it's going to do 0 damage because he's already at 0. So that's great. I think that works well. Cool. All right. That's coming along. Okay, now is for player priority. So this is a new script. So essentially what this script needs to be, it's going to be basically a state machine. It is going to have to, the first thing it has to do is going to have to get all the player, and I'll type this, actually, you know what? This is probably helpful for you as well as for me. I'm going to go ahead and type out kind of what I want it to do. So first it needs to get player lists, enemies, and allies. Yeah, I understand. It's hard when you're learning a lot of things, for sure. Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of time. So, understand. Yeah, 3D modeling, I've been looking into it because I mentioned I have some experience with like SolidWorks, right? So I do have SolidWorks on my computer. I've used it for engineering type things. But yeah, Blender, I want to practice with it. It looks pretty intuitive if you have reference drawings, right? So if you're a good artist, right? Like you can draw. Getting those reference drawings down and being able to draw stuff in perspective makes Blender, I think, a lot easier because then you can import those as kind of perspective drawings, and then you can kind of just drag your mesh out to those points, and you probably have a leg up. So that's pretty good. So then what I need to do is essentially I need to go through, let's see, each tick, add speed, I'll say priority, to each enemy and ally based on their speed. So essentially what I'm going to be doing is counting ticks, and every tick I'm going to add something based on their speed, and every class has a different speed, and then every player will have a different speed based on the level and stuff, which I haven't built the leveling system yet, obviously. So right now it's just going to be based on class. So each tick, add prior, and I'm going to do this actually just to make this painfully obvious. I'm going to make that like 20 to their speed, and I'll say like when speed gets, I guess, to priority, when priority gets to 100, select player as active player. That's I think what I want my turn system to look like. Obviously it looks pretty simple. And I actually already have some of these functions, which is nice. I just may have to move them around or make them a little more modular. Oh, really? That makes sense. I am actually about to buy a GPU. My GPU is not good. So I'm about to buy one. Yeah, I may look into NVIDIA. I was just gonna get like a 580, like an RTX or an RX 580, whatever it is, because they're inexpensive. But yeah, I might look into an NVIDIA GPU. Not bad. I mean, NVIDIA. The only problem is NVIDIA is doing really, really well right now with with all their stuff. So they may be a little kind of starting to get into the high end area. But we'll see. I can probably look at. I'm probably looking at either a used one or an older model anyway, which may be a good time to buy an NVIDIA if they're coming out with a bunch of models. So, not a bad idea. Okay, so this is the function I use to get player lists. Actually, this might be a lot easier than I'm even thinking. So this is my get player locations. Oh yeah, this is super easy actually. All I have to do is say, for this, a 4060 or 4060 Ti. The only problem with, I think, even like a 4060 or 4060 Ti is I think it still out processes my CPU by a lot. And I'll show you what I mean. So I'll go to the bottleneck calculator. And I could get a new CPU too, and I will continue to upgrade. I don't think I need it right now. Honestly, I don't play a lot of games. I play some, right? I am really enjoying developing. The games I play are a lot simpler. I don't play a lot of FPS or anything. So let's see. So I think what I have, like I can check. I think I have a 4221. Is that right? Most of what I use GPUs for is 3D modeling, and what I currently have works fine. I've never run into a bottleneck with my GPU at the moment. Okay, so I have 3.4 gigahertz 4770. So then if I got like a 4060, we'll say even just like a 4060, right? Could do a calculation here. So I've got a pretty big bottleneck on my CPU if that's the case for general tasks. I mean, if I was looking at, instead of general tasks, right, I was doing more like graphics card intensive tasks, there's probably less of a bottleneck. There still is quite a bit of a bottleneck, but it is less. So I think there's probably no reason to get a 4060 Ti. What I was looking at was like the RX 580. I might look at what the equivalent is for NVIDIA, but yeah, you can see there's a 0% bottleneck on that. And then if I do general tasks here, which is probably more what I use it for, yeah, I have like a 17%, so it's a lot better. So that's kind of what I'm considering right now. We'll see though. All right. So let's see. So what I'm going to do here then, I have this function here, and I'm going to have variable. I'll have allies. Maybe I'll just have, do I split them? Yes, I definitely need to split them. Allies equals gets tree allies. And then variable enemies equals get tree enemies. And then I'll throw them all together for like the priority list. And so then I'll have like a variable priorities list equals, and I think this returns an array. So I would say like, I could do allies dot append array enemies. I think that's what that looks like. Let me just double check on my array. I guess I could just run it. Okay. So let's see. Let's just check. Okay, so for an array, append array. Yep. So that should be correct. Let's see what it doesn't like. Oh, I see. Priority list. Okay, so then what I need to do. Okay, I got it. Okay, that makes sense. So I would say like priority priority list. And then what I can do is I can say, we'll go ahead and have the on ready. On ready. Make sure it's what that is. Oh, it's just ready. Okay. We'll take this real quick. Okay, so when I'm ready, right? This is when it first starts up. I'll take priority list, append array enemies, append array allies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not too bad. It really works out pretty well. I do want a better graphics card because you can see, like, if I run this is where I'm starting to hit a bottleneck. When I'm running this, oh, it might not let me. One moment, cannot call method on a null value. Interesting. Let's just hide this for a second. All right. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it over the stream, but I'm starting to see it. There's little glitches when I turn and stuff. Do you see those glitches? And that is absolutely my GPU maxing out. So my GPU is trying as hard as it can, but it really can't keep up. And this is pretty simple. I can play games like Fall Guys and, you know, most RPGs decently well, as long as they're not too intensive. I usually play older RPGs anyway. So yeah, it's fine. I don't really play a lot of games, which is weird because I know I'm developing a game. But I have a lot more fun developing, I think, than playing at this point. Okay, I see. Interesting. So your GPU there is doing the rendering. I got it. Yeah, in SolidWorks, I do use the render function sometimes, but yeah, I hear you. It takes a long time. But I mean, usually the way I do it with SolidWorks is I get everything looking nice, set up my scene, go hit the render button, and I'll let that run like overnight, or I'll go eat or something. So it's not a huge deal, but it will be faster with the 580 or something, and that's like $100. I mean, the 580 is very inexpensive, which I like. So I wonder what's the I don't know if you know, what's the NVIDIA counterpart to like the 580. I'm curious, and I'm curious if they have it on Amazon. I will obviously, if you know, no problem, I can look that up on my own. But I am curious. I do plan on having cutscenes, yeah, and that's a good point. And honestly, I don't know if I'm just going to commission those yet, or what I'm going to do there. I may have to try to find an artist to partner with to go work cutscenes. I may try it. I think I'm a lot better programmer than I am artist at the moment, so we'll see. Like a GTX 2060, okay. I'll look those up. I'm curious what the calculator says about it. We'll just see real quick. Might as well. So what is it? 2060? A super. So still might be a little too powerful for me. We'll see. I might be looking at like a 1060. So anyway, yeah, it's probably better. My CPU is absolutely bottleneck, but that's okay. And then I bet if I do graphics card intensive tasks, I bet there's no bottleneck here. I bet it's fine. 0.7. So yeah, the 1060 is probably a good option for me. I'm definitely gonna look it up. Yeah. Thanks for the tip. I'll give that a shot and see what'll happen. Okay, let's see. All right, so now I have this. I wonder why it told me it didn't like these nodes. I'm wondering if it's loading too early. What I probably need to do is say on ready here. What on ready does is it waits to load the variable until after the node is called instead of when the node is initialized. So what it can do is, if I'm waiting on a variable to catch up, it gets them out of that race position. So you can see it worked that time, yeah. So essentially it got it out of the race position where I wasn't now like racing to see who could call the fastest, right? So one thing is I've got these nodes with groups, allies and enemies, and this was initializing before these were initializing. And so when this would initialize, it would say, hey, this doesn't exist. So I can put this on ready there, and that says, hey, go ahead and wait till you're ready, essentially. And then I can take my priority list and do this, and that'll build my priority list. I don't think this is going to be too bad. And then what I'm going to do is just cycle through my priority list. Let's see. So it didn't like that. Okay, so that's because I can do this and assign that array like this. All right, let's see where we go here. So yeah, so that worked. The next thing I'm going to do is I'll use a for loop to essentially walk through that list. Get rid of pass here. So I can say like for player in, I don't know if I want to call it a player, more like for character in priority list. Yeah, it's I think once you start seeing them all as like challenges, you start getting used to it. It's really hard, and there's definitely a learning curve until you get to the point where it's like you can think through the troubleshooting. Because when you first start out, I think the best tip I can give you is like every time you add a line, test it. And I still do that a lot. You can see like I'm testing even though I'm not like, I can't see this happen. I still test it to make sure it works. Because if I waited until I had like some chunk of code to add these, right, I would have gotten an error and been like, what am I doing, right? I just added 100 lines of code and I don't know where the problem is. This way, you can line by line kind of make sure everything's working. So here what I'll do is for character in priority list, I'm just gonna say like character.name and I'll print that and use print statements a lot. So this is going to, I think what should happen is it should print character names just a lot, just over and over again. I'm gonna grab a wait in here. This just kind of waits, triggers a frame wait. That way I don't have to get as many. And I'll just put that there, like to 0.1. So every 0.1 seconds, it should print all of the names in the priority list, and I'll check those names and make sure that everybody's there. There should be like 5 characters, 6 characters. Remove bugs on complete games. I bet it's awful. I mean, you can see how much code I have now, and it's like, it's, I can't imagine that being that much more. You can see that that's working pretty well. Yeah, if you're trying to like resolve bugs, like one of your players said, hey, you know, when I move XYZ happens, that'd be terrible. It would be easier if you have good like descriptions like this, right? Because then if you have like a priority issue or speed issue, you could probably hunt it down. But it would definitely be a lot harder. All right, so now that I'm getting this, one thing I'm gonna do is I'll say character.priority equals priority, or character.priority plus character.speed. And then what I can do is in here, I'll just add a check that says if speed or priority is greater than or equal to 100, I'm going to set my priority equals 100, and then I'm going to print just ready, and then I'll print name. So I'm going to print my own name, and then let me go back to here. Clear this. This should happen pretty fast for everybody. I'm going to go ahead and wait 1 second. So probably about 5 seconds, it should happen for everybody. Let's see, we should start seeing that. Oh yeah, thinking through that. If that's why I'm trying to kind of make this as modular as possible. And then okay, everybody already is ready. If I run into like bugs later, it's gonna be a pain, I'm sure. All right, Ace. Well, it's good talking to you. Hopefully I'll catch you soon. Thanks for stopping in though. All right, they're getting ready way too fast, which means it's probably not quite working here. So this should be for character and priority list, character.priority plus character.speed, which is good, but obviously that is way too fast. And then it should be waiting. Oh, you know what? Okay, here's the problem here, is that this process delta is just going way, way too fast. What I probably need to do is have a new function that is add, or I'll say like advance priority. Oops, advance priority. And that function's gonna just have this in it. And then this wait timer is not gonna be doing anything. So what I need to do then is use a timer. What I can do is, let me go grab my timer from my camera, because I am using a timer for other things. Ooh, keep that there. That would break things. Let's see. So here I'm using a timer to tell this. To essentially tell me when I can. What is that for? Oh, it's to flip the thing back and forth when I'm like on a bridge or a higher thing. So, okay. So ultimately though, I want to use it here. So player priority, I want the end time, and I'll have bar end time, bar start time. And then what I'll do is here I'll say start time equals time.get ticks milliseconds. Oops. And then what I can do here is end time equals that. And I can say if end time minus start time is greater than, we'll say 10,000. So every 10 seconds. Oh, maybe every 1 second for now. Every 1 second. Advance priority. And that would come advanced priority every 1 second, or yeah. And it should be 5 seconds before it gets a chance. And then afterwards, start time equals, actually in here, I would reset my start time. So after I advance priority, start time gets reset. That should every 1 second advance priority. So I should see all those readies kind of go away, and they should come up after 5 seconds or so. Looking good so far. Look at that. I got the first chunk, and I don't have a mechanism to reset it. I can develop one pretty easily. I could just say, if it's greater than 100, set priority back at 0. So now every 5 seconds or so, it should set my priority up. All right, let's see how that does. Let's see here. There we go. So they're ready. They're ready. They're ready. And now we should have the warriors coming up soon. There you go. Cool. That's great, actually. So yeah, that's pretty good. Now what I can do is I can keep to, let's see. So now what I'm going to do is get rid of this. Now let me think real quick. So I don't want it to do it by that. Essentially, I want it to do it after each player moves, essentially. So this does give me a priority list. So I think now what I want to do is set active player based on this. And so I can probably say active world dot active player equals self. Oh, it's self dot name or self dot path. Node path? Is that right? Is it node path? Let's see. Okay, it's a resource, but this is a node. Process. Editor description. Thread group. There should be a path somewhere in here. What am I missing here? Node. Oh, duh. I can just copy. Oh, or I can look here. So copy. So it is the node path. Let me just look at like a node. Open documentation for node. Path. Visibility parent? No. Back to a node. Path. So get node. Oh, duh. Oh, man. Okay, so that makes sense. And so essentially what I'd do is I would say back to the character. Active player equals. Oh, it's not get node actually. It's whatever the opposite of get node is. Let's go look. So it's not get node, it's get path. Okay, so get path. So here I'll get path of self. Let's see if that works. I don't think it'll quite work. Let's see. Too many arguments for get path call. And oh, okay, so self.getPath. Or I can just put get path. Okay. Let's see what we got. Do I still have it set up to do this every... Oh, it broke. Interesting. Okay, so active player. Obviously, I did not do that right. I wonder if get path. It does return the absolute path. Interesting. Returns the relative node path. No. That's interesting. What I'll do here is just print. I will print get path. Ready. Get path. Okay, it'll probably break, but at least it should get path first. Let's see what we got. We're waiting. Output, okay. So it did, and it returned root/main/Alara. So I'm kind of surprised. It's possible because I put 2 in there, which is interesting. So what I probably can do is have... I wonder if I put this here or if I leave it in here and I can say, okay, if... Okay. Maybe I put get ready player. Okay, and then I have a new function. Function get ready player. And basically the same thing. Well, you know what? I probably can just advance priority. If character dot priority is greater than 100, And we'll have like ready player. Okay. Ready player equals this. And we can say ready player dot append character. That's pretty good. Okay, I will be right back. All right. All right, let's see. That's better. Cool. Here we go. I'm back. Okay. So I have a new function, probably not here. What I'm going to do instead is just append advanced priority. So ready player.append character here. And then what I'm going to say is for characters in ready player. Okay. Let's see. I would probably just do like while ready player. And then I would have world dot let's see what that function is. World dot active player equals get path of ready player 0. Okay. I think that's good. And then what I would say is too many arguments. Oh, that's because I need to do this. Ready player 0 dot get path. And then what I'll do is I'll just, for now, just while I'm troubleshooting, I will print active player world dot active player. And then let me go. I need to clear it. So I could say ready remove at 0, and that should remove the last one. And then all I'm going to do is wait here. I'll just have like an await window for 5 seconds or something. That won't work. The reason it won't work is because it's going to get stuck in the while loop, but it's going to run process again because this is run every single frame. Huh. Called every frame. So every frame this is going to run. It'll check it. Let's see. Actually, you know what I probably could do instead of this? I could probably be a little smart about this. This is run every frame. Programming is absolutely right now my favorite part of the game design. Hey Exotic, how's it going? I'm pretty new to this. I've been doing this a couple weeks, and programming is my background, at least somewhat. So enjoying programming. I still have a long way to go though. Hey, YouTube lore. Yeah, no, it's good. So what I'm programming right now, I'm making a game that is a tactical RPG, and right now what I'm trying to do is create the kind of turn system. So I'll kind of show you where I'm at, as long as I can run it without errors, which I very well might have all kinds of errors because of this while loop. Let's go ahead and get rid of the while loop for now, just because the while loop's going to give me problems. So let's see what we got. I've actually never played Baldur's Gate. Sorry to say. I would say it's like close to one of my favorite games of all time is Final Fantasy Tactics. Not sure if you ever played it. It's like a tactical RPG. It's fantastic. That's probably the closest to what it's going to be. This will be like a 3D version of that, but it is grid based. You can kind of see here's the grid based. You kind of move around, right? This is still very early on development, but oh yeah, it's so good. I mean, you can't beat that game. I've played tons of games since and haven't seen anything near as good. So you will see a lot of the kind of same kind of feeling here. Keep in mind, I'm only a few weeks in, so I have a lot of polishing to do. I am working on basic mechanics right now. I've gotten movement down. Movement I feel pretty good about. Attacking obviously just looks really silly right now. And the mechanic on the attacking right now is super simple. It's take my attack, subtract my attack from their health. So nothing good yet. But it's coming along. I got the movement down. I'm working on the turn-based thing. You'll see a lot of inspiration from Final Fantasy Tactics in here. The kind of key mechanic I'm planning on kind of adding, I'm wanting to do so like the lore I'm working on setting up is kind of essentially it's going to be like kind of a normal fantasy medieval RPG type thing, except at some point something's going to happen that's going to kind of trigger magic in the world, and so everybody across the world is going to be like learning magic kind of all at the same time simultaneously. So it's essentially what that's going to look like is You're going to probably fight the big bad, like right off. And then he's going to be pretty weak because everybody's going to be kind of weak. And you're not going to have really great control over your magic and stuff. I got to figure out what that mechanic looks like. So yeah, we just killed that guy. So I'm not sure what that mechanic looks like yet all that much. But from there, you're going to, during combat at certain times, you're going to essentially like unlock nodes that'll give you access to be able to unlock and actually use new like spells and things. And I'm hoping to have a very large list of spells. Trying to create everything very modular so I can add content, I can add equipment, I can add people very easily. That's kind of my goal. So I've been focused on that on the programming side, where I can kind of move nodes around. You'll see a lot of very node-based things, like I have all the attack and movement separated out. Trying to get that where it's very modular, where I can add a lot of like content quickly in terms of like skills, abilities, spells, that sort of stuff. Hopefully with an Excel sheet. I'm hoping to be able to import a CSV essentially. And then essentially as you progress, you'll have hundreds, maybe thousands, depending on how ambitious I get, of options. And using those spells and using those skills in combination with other spells and skills. Like, so let's say you used like a lot of attack skills, and then you start using like some fire skills. You might learn like a spell or a skill that combines them, right? But it unlocks that node, and then you spend experience points on actually unlocking that ability. So that'll kind of be the differentiator, I guess, from other tactics RPGs. But yeah, I'm excited. It's such a good game. And getting into game development, I am pretty new to it, but it's been a ton of fun kind of getting to bring something like that to life. Yeah, I agree. I think that's going to really help. And I'm trying to think through every mechanic I add that's not like standard RPG mechanic. I'm trying to think, how can that be incorporated into the lore? So I do think it's kind of cool, and I do have some good ideas for that, at least what I think are good ideas, right? So yeah, I'm pretty excited. And then I'm pretty excited about, you know, talking to the community and getting ideas, because everybody who's joined has had fantastic ideas. So that's a really cool part, I think, about streaming in general, is just getting ideas live. So it's been fun to kind of develop while streaming and kind of get that live feedback and live input. All right, so what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna keep working on this priority list. So essentially, yeah, what I'm working on here, you can kind of see in the top there of my notes, and I'm failing here just because not getting the path right. Thanks, YouTube lore. Yeah, hopefully you can hang out some other time though. So yeah, get your rest, and then hopefully you can pop back in, and hey, maybe I made progress. The last couple weeks I've been making pretty fast progress. I'm pretty happy with it. So who knows, next time you pop in, I might be working on story mechanics. And I do plan on getting kind of the main game in place, right? Get the kind of main mechanics. And then once that's in place, I will put out a demo. So maybe you can try it out, and then and that'll be fun. I'm not anywhere close, obviously, to a playable demo. Got a long way to go, but still something to look forward to. So that's what I'm kind of focused on now first, is getting a vertical slice. Essentially, what does one battle look like, right? And then from there, I'll branch off and add more components. So let's see. So I'm getting an index 0 on this array. Okay, so I think that's the key, is I say if ready player dot size, is that the right one, is greater than 0, then do this. And let's see. So it's not dot size. Oh, it's read player. Ready player dot size is greater than 0. Then do that. Let's see if that works here. I have a pretty good feeling here about that. Let's see. So we're waiting. And then, do I put a print there? Okay, so it did not like that. Okay, so basically what happened is I assigned an active player, but it didn't like the active player I assigned. So that's interesting. Let's see. What process is this in? Or which function? Is this an action confirm? That's interesting. Okay. So this is in my actual UI. So the UI, essentially I say, hey, if I have an active player, if I'm in move mode or attack mode, show the UI. I'm going to go ahead and print real quick. Print. And I can say instead here, world. This is something I learned since here. I'll say like active player. And then I'll say world dot active player. And I'll print that if I have an active player. So that should tell me kind of what I think my active player is. And then from there I can adjust and see what the problem is. Because what's happening there is it's saying, hey, there's no active player by that name here. But ultimately, they should all exist. Let's see what we got. So on output, we got root/main/aria. So if I run this again, and I'll just pick someone real quick and it should output it. That's interesting. Obviously, they do exist. Okay, so root/main/alara. And let's see. But it doesn't like root/main/aria for some reason. You can see they're formatted the same. So we should return it. Let me make sure that I didn't accidentally delete a movement node off aria. Nope. So the movement node exists. And so there we're saying aria/movement, but it doesn't like it. It says invalid operands node path and string in the operator. Oh, you know what? Okay, I do see what's going on here. And it's essentially that I'm not converting this to a string before passing it into this area. So that's a pretty easy fix. Essentially here on player priority, I'm gonna pass this active player equals string. There you go. That should fix that. All right, let's see. Now I wait. All right, so now I picked aria. Now we'll wait. Okay, because it'll never clear. That's okay. Okay, so not bad. That does pick my active player. And then what I need to do, I think, is here. Oops. Here. I can, just for now, I could say like if player size is greater than 1, I would just clear active player. Or clear ready player move at 0. That should at least let me cycle through people. Let's take a look. Obviously, this isn't how turn-based systems work, but okay, now I'm selecting aria, alara, going back and forth. That's good. Okay. So that's good. And then it should switch to my next players. Oh, okay, there you go. That's going to kind of switch between everybody. Okay. That's pretty good. Do I have it set where if their priority is greater than 100 to delete? I don't think so. Ultimately, though, I shouldn't. What I need to do is subtract. Okay, I think I got this. Essentially, when I move and I attack, I need to subtract some of their priority. So essentially, I would have here, if I confirm, I can say character dot priority equals character. I guess minus equals, and we could call it like for a movement like 40. We'll do like 40-60 split. And then for my attack, same thing. Excuse me. Minus equals 60. And then instead of this, let's see. Instead of this, I would say, instead of that, I would say if character dot priority equals 0. Do that. And that should be a lot better, but I don't need that here. Basically just do your thing. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I probably can just grab move focus every time. I can't think of another situation because I should black out basically all actions. Okay. That's good. I do have to pause this. So I need to build a state machine. Right now it's just working off ticks. Don't want it to work off ticks. I want to build a little bit of a state machine here. So essentially what should happen is when we start, let's get rid of these ticks. Process may not be the best thing. Let me look at some of the different function options and see what we got. So process ready, shortcut input, okay. Unhandled input. Basically I'm looking for a condition where every frame, or I guess I can control the ticks. So essentially run through it once and then go back to the top. It's kind of what I want to happen. Sure, it's calling the function will succeed. Okay. Create a tween. Interesting. So let me see if what would be some keywords. Okay, let's look at all the methods. Okay. Get groups. No. Process delta time. Let's see. I guess I can just go build. Let's see. It's probably in one of these. Okay. Well, I probably can build it. Okay, so here's how I'm going to build it. I'll have modes. Okay, let's just start. I'm building a state machine. I'll call them states even, because they should all be disjoint. State equals 0. Actually, let's do this. States equals, and so let me think through like what a turn looks like, right? So like states equals, we'll have a adding ticks, or we'll say ticking is what we'll call it. That's essentially where it's just adding priority to characters. So in this case, like there's nobody that's ready for a turn. We might have like a pre-turn. Maybe we just say ready. We'll just say player ready. I guess it's a string. Player ready. So then we have player ready, and then in player ready, they could do their movement, they could do their attack, and we might say like the in turn phase, and then we go back to ticking. And then while we're ticking, if there's a player ready, I would switch to that state, and then at the end of that, I would end the turn, and that would go to the next one. So then let's set this up like that, and I would essentially say, okay, so I could say on ready. So those are my different states. So then we have a variable that is current state. Current state equals 0. Okay. Which is ticking. Okay. So then what I'd say is if current state equals 0, I want to advance priority. And I think that's it. Let's see. I guess I could say, hey, advanced priority, and if that, then I would say current state equals 1. And my current state is 1 is player ready. So essentially, if I have a player ready, set my current state to 1 and set the active player as my current state. Okay. So that's good. I only want to set it once because you should be able to click off the active player and go back to them. Okay. So then what I can do is I can say if current state equals 1, and I need to go code this, but for now I'm just going to build it. And then if current state equals 2, remove player. All right. I guess these can all be elifs. And I'm missing is same as everywhere. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. So then essentially I should walk through that, and I'm going to print the current state at all times. I have the first state actually kind of built. Current state. And I can say current state. And then let me go down to my UI, my user interface. And all I'm going to do is clear my my print statement, because that's going to get really annoying. But I don't need it. Cool. So now I should have a state machine kind of set up where it should be ticking along. It should pick somebody. So let's see, current state. Oh, current state's already 1. Okay, because it ticked really fast, which is good. It should tick really fast. Okay. So then I can move. It will never get to state 2 right now, but it's staying in state 1, which is great. I probably need another variable here. Well, actually, you know what I can do is when I hit, because I have a return button, right? So if I have this and I navigate off, well, it's just going to return automatically. But I do have a return button set up. What I can do with that return button is essentially set it up where when I hit that, it looks at that state machine and says, hey, who's your current player? And that's going to be really clean. That'll be a good way to do this. Let's go ahead and code that real quick. Oh, 1 second. I'll be right back. Just drop my soda. I was muted the whole time. I was narrating my brilliant keyboard cleaning escapades. Oh man, great. Let's close that out. That is all right. We'll open back up. Okay, almost got this cleaned up. Just gonna finish up. Meanwhile, I'll reopen up my game. All right. Now let's pop my keyboard back together. All right. Here's the arrow key. Left arrow. Right arrow. Page down. The plus. Okay. Which arrow is this? I think it's the down arrow. The problem is I don't know if it's up or down. Okay, it's down. Luckily my keyboard glows when it's in the right configuration. Okay, there's a 2. Ooh, that 2 feels weird now. Okay. There's up, there's down. Okay, there is delete. Is that where delete goes? Why does that delete key look weird? Where does delete go on a keyboard? Uh-oh. Okay, that is a return key. And a 1 key. Okay, all back together. Crisis mostly averted. Let's undo a lot here. Okay. We're back. Okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. No big deal. It is all good. Okay, so let's see. Alrighty. I'm gonna real quick go grab a better cloth. Be right back. All right. Oh, I just had to go get some Clorox wipes so that nothing got sticky. Yeah, that was real unfortunate. We were on a roll before that. It's okay. We'll get back on a roll. This new Mountain Dew Baja Blast Lemon Laguna Lemonade is to blame. It's not bad, it's pretty good. I'll keep drinking it. Well, now it's flat. It's okay. Okay. So let's see where we're at. Okay. So here, we start a state. I'm going to print the current state. Oh yeah, I have nothing to advance the state. So essentially though, so that should take my priority to 0. And then what I need to do, I think, is just say here on the player, if priority is less than or equal to 0, I guess is equal to 0. Let's see. Should I do it here? Or should I do it here? I should do it here. I should say if ready player 0 dot priority. Oh, it's in the next one, I guess. If ready player 0 dot priority equals 0. If it's less than 0, we got a problem. I need to make sure I code it. Equals 0. Then current state equals 2. And that should remove that and should advance to the next player. Let's see what happens. Okay. Okay. Current state 1. My priority's not quite disappearing. Let's see. Okay, so I'm guessing my priority never went away. Did I switch here? That's my target player. Okay. So, let me make sure. I should be... Oh, you know what? I probably need to put in here, just in the character script, up here, if priority is greater than 100, I just need to set priority equal to 100. Okay. We'll see what happens there. Okay. Okay, so now I'm in state 2. So now it should be taking... Oh, it doesn't have a way to get to state 0. So ultimately in state 2, it should immediately jump back to state 0. Just do this. Hey, Vonasty, how are you doing? Did I say that okay? We are working on developing a tactical RPG, and we're making some pretty good progress. Been at this something like a month. We've kind of gotten our attack movement and stuff down. Now we're working on a turn-based system. So we're working through it. So we got that down. Now it should go to the next player here in a second. Oh, it already did. But these are still grayed out because right now it doesn't know to set. Okay, so basically on the read set on the in turn, I need to go reset my menus, which should be pretty easy. Working on your own DE for Linux. Oh wow, so that's I'm sure that's a lot more complicated than here. I've only ever done application layer. So you're working like the infrastructure layer for Linux. So what are you going to use? It's like a desktop. What are you using that for? Like your own distribution, basically. That's pretty cool. Really curious on that. So let's see. I think what I'm gonna pull here is essentially this, where when I'm done, I need to re-enable everything. So I should just basically say attack and move, get re-enabled. I do have this. Let me see. Actually, I don't think I need these anymore. No, I don't. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of those. So moving that. Arch Linux. Choose KDE or GNOME. Okay. Cool. So you're basically customizing it to look like you want. What are you gonna end up using this Linux box for? Just as your like normal PC? That's pretty sweet. And I think I can just grab that. So I think what that does, what I just did essentially was clear it where it's not going to progress like it used to, but I'm controlling progression in a different script. So I think essentially now I can say move and attack are re-enabled. Basically what I should do is have this flipped. So where does my player info? So you're just trying to create a distribution that's both fast and pleasing to look at for your PC. Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, we use obviously Linux for a lot of things. I'm in the aerospace avionics business. I actually do rockets. Yeah, we use Linux distributions for our engine controllers. But yeah, no, it's really interesting. So I've never done a custom Linux distribution before. I've had team members who have, but myself, I'm not a software developer, so I am so far off of what you're probably doing. I can barely understand the language you're speaking, but I'm very impressed nonetheless. Very cool. Okay, so basically here, I'm trying to think through how I want to do this. I want to trigger, I think, a restart of this. So I think what I want to do is clear the active player and let it sit for a second. So to clear it, and then everything will slide back in and re-enable. I think that's kind of the way to do this. So in that state that I'm in here, if I go here, I think I want to say current state, leave that, and I will essentially say, I'll essentially say world.activePlayer equals blank. I want it to happen pretty fast, but it would probably be nice if everything kind of fades out and then goes back. So world.activePlayer equals blank. I only want to transfer to current state is I can actually be looking at this, and I can say if this dot disabled equals false, then return back to current state. So what should happen there is once it re-enables it, it should go back to active state. Oh, you know what? That won't work because in my player box here, I don't re-enable it until after I'm already there. I absolutely agree. Yeah. I'm new to game development, right? So I've never used Unity, never used Unreal or anything. But you know, it's object-oriented coding or node-based coding, and it's been pretty powerful. I've been using GDScript. It's very approachable. It hasn't like given me problems, and then it is super powerful, right? I mean, I did a custom like A-star algorithm from scratch, and it obviously that's not super complicated when you talk about game mechanics, but it gave me everything I needed to. I could do debugging, right? I could have instrumented code. I had no issue at all coding in GDScript. It also gives you the ability to do C#, right? So I think one of the limitations right now in Godot is like multiplayer games. It has a really hard time talking to a server, is my understanding, right? So if I set up a server for multiplayer, it has a hard time doing that. But because you can use C#, right? You could just code that part in C# and they can work together. Yeah, I agree. And because I have a Python background, it makes it a lot easier. Not saying I'm good in Python. I can hack something together to automate something in Python. That's kind of what I'm doing here, just kind of hacking things together. And I'm learning some stuff. It's been nice because I've learned kind of the importance of modular code, learned the importance of kind of breaking things out to functions. When I first started, it was funny. I started with like one of these scripts, and these ended up getting this is nasty, this display label, but it's just because it's an animation, right? But I started, oh, you know what? Actually, I'll show you here. This is kind of funny. So camera was the first one I coded, right? The movement of the camera. I've got a lot of stuff commented out now because I don't need it. It was this huge monolithic beast and still is, right? It's really bad coding practice with like one function that I was like, I'm using this a lot. I'll copy it out to a function. I need to go through here and optimize this, or at least clean it up. But I've been unmotivated to do so. It works. It's just not easy to maintain, so it's gonna be completely unmaintainable code. But you know, in doing so, I've learned kind of the importance of that. So you can see as I'm progressing on, I'm breaking these out a lot better. I'm learning, so it's been a good experience. I do like Godot quite a bit. Not gonna say I'm good at coding. I'm sure actual software engineers come in here and cringe, but that's okay. Okay, so this isn't gonna work looking at whether that's disabled or not. What I can do, what I can do is just have a variable in here that's like visible and not visible here. That's gonna be the easiest. Oh, I have an on flag already. So basically what I can do is I can say, if it's, so here, I will turn my on flag to true. And then here I will turn my on flag to false. Then all I have to do is I have to say, hey, look for the on flag. And if the on flag is false, then I would go ahead and, let me see, actually, I kind of want it to slide out first. So I probably will put this here. Because, well, it slides out pretty fast, does it? I have this in here as the problem, and that's really the function or the part I'm looking at. Okay. So, yeah, let's do that. I'll have them there, and I'm going to start it as false. So essentially then, what I'm going to do is come back up here. I will look at priority, and I could say if, do I still have that? Nope. UI control. Let's see, I guess I can just copy the path. /player info dot on flag equals false. Then switch that back. Oh, I hear you. It's so funny. We've been working on naming something at work, and the names me and my team have come up with are just absolutely terrible. They're all acronyms, right? And we pulled out ChatGPT, and we were asking it, hey, what should we name this thing? Kind of describing it to it. We have a company version of ChatGPT we can use. And we were describing it, and we're like, hey, give us some names. And the names it came up with were so awful. but they were still better than what we could come up with. I don't think the creative side of my brain is firing on all cylinders all the time. So yeah, you might, let's see. Nasty a dashboard. That's all right. You might ask ChatGPT. I mean, honestly, it came up with some okay stuff. It just didn't work for what we needed. So yeah, let's see this. So this should do this, and this should switch to the next person. Let's see, current status 2. It's okay. Well, it worked. It took a long time. And then it didn't. Let's see. I wonder why that took so long. It also generated like 371 bugs. Oh, Gemini. I've never actually heard of Gemini. I must be behind the times. I always use ChatGPT just because, we have a custom like company ChatGPT. And so we're allowed to use it for stuff. Oh, okay, I see. So it was just clearing it. This is tough. Okay. I need to move this to this. That way I don't generate all those bugs. And that took forever. Wonder why that took so long to... It should pretty immediately clear the active player. Okay, Google's AI model. I will admit, I do... So I have like on my Google app, I have AI search turned on and stuff, and it does kind of something similar, probably using the same code. Yeah, we primarily use it for coding. So I use it a lot, like at work. I'm not, like I mentioned, I'm not a software engineer. I'm a system engineer and more on the program management side right now. But I do a lot of automation because I don't like, doing something over and over again. And ChatGPT is so good at, saying, hey, I'm trying to do this in Visual Basic. Fix it for me. And it will. Okay, so there are several seconds here for some reason of just pausing. I need to figure that out. Interesting. Okay, so it's looking for me to move. I need to fix that. So I'm guessing it's setting active player, but something is resetting the active player. I really should have it where it can't set the active player on anywhere except here. So I probably need to have a variable called like current player. Well, actually I don't. I already have an array with exactly what I need. I think now, I did have to have active player kind of available when I was like manually grabbing people, right? I don't have to do that anymore. So if I don't have to do that anymore, I can probably remove when I set active player here. Let's see. Okay. That's good. This right here. I think I can just get rid of this. That's a lot to get rid of, but I think that works. And it should still... So what that's doing is I'm essentially highlighting when I have a player available on me, like in my square. See how they highlight? That's what that code does. And then when I was debugging, I would say, hey, if you can pick somebody and you click A, pick them. Now I can't because I got rid of that code, which is actually probably good. Okay. So let's see if this works a little faster here. So now it should switch over. It kind of did. I had to move my joystick a little bit, but I think I'm getting close here. Let's see if I'm selecting active player anywhere else, or I guess I'm at least not clearing it, which is the problem. I probably need to say, hey, if active player is blank. Well, the deal is it should. So I already have a function here that says, hey, if there's no node on active player, which should happen when I set it blank, do that. What I probably should do is be printing active player, just so I can see what's happening. It's very possible that it's reselecting active player. Print active player. Hey, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. I can use all the coding help I can get, so if you hang out and tell me when I'm making terrible coding mistakes, that's super helpful. No, thanks for popping in. I really appreciate it. And thanks for the follow. I think if I do this, I should be able to see when it's deselecting the active player or reselecting it. We'll find out here. Ah, nice. Taking kind of like a... Are you going anywhere or just kind of taking some time off? That is nice though. So yeah, it's already has no active player yet. This window's still there. So I need to figure out why it's not updating. That's nice. I recently had a kid. It's my second child. They're great. I have 2 weeks of parental leave left. I need to use it, but it's so hard to get away from work. So great job taking your holiday. And I hope that goes well. It's interesting here. Because I shouldn't have an active player here. That should be false, and as soon as that's false, it should jump over to this. So that's really interesting that it's not doing so. It's waiting. Oh, shoot. Okay, I see what's going on. See that function right there? It's waiting for an input. So I'm telling you here, yeah, it's not doing anything until I give you a mouse. That's why, because it's waiting for an input. All I have to do is change that to process. And that's delta, I think. I think it looks for the delta there. But I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm not using the delta. Is it process? Is that what it is? Yeah, process. And I won't be using delta. The way Godot likes to do it is you get an error if I use it. I guess I could smooth out the animation, but not worth it probably for this kind of game. Let's see. So now I can move. I can attack. It already goes to the next person. That was really fast. The one thing I don't have is it didn't highlight it didn't add focus. Focus is pretty easy. There's an interview. Wants to do the interview and stuff. It's in Dubai, and they booked a hotel for a week. Ooh, that's exciting. That's pretty cool. I have gotten to travel a little bit with work. I've gone to Poland. I've gone to the UK, Germany. I've gone to India. Haven't been to Dubai. Dubai is definitely on my list of places to go. Very jealous. That's awesome. Yeah, hope that goes well. Hope you guys find some good people. And you have a good time. Yeah, I get it. Anytime that always happens. A new place. Do you travel internationally a lot? Is that kind of something you've done a lot of? Are you pretty new to international travel? I will say, like, my first time traveling internationally was actually with school. I was presenting a paper in Italy, and I was definitely very, very nervous. But yeah. Want to go to Germany? Kind of hard. Oh, I gotcha, because you're from Russia. Yeah, that is tough, you know. But, you know, hopefully... Oh, I gotcha. Wow. Well, very cool. Well, hopefully at some point you get a chance to travel again. I know things are a little crazy right now. But I, wish you the best, and hopefully you get a chance to travel before too long. But no, it's really cool. Dubai would be a really cool place. I hear it's absolutely beautiful, and it's an amazing place to travel to. All right, so yeah, this fixes that. It now jumps. The only problem now that I have is I need to wait because it's jumping so fast. It's not letting me finish my attack animation. Basically, I think I need to wait in my attack animation for that to finish. Let's see. So I am waiting half a second here. I can probably just here wait like another 3 seconds or something. And then I need to do that before I turn attacking off. Yeah, I'm sure, like, working there long term, there's probably a lot of worker condition problems. I could definitely see that. But I have heard the people are really nice. I heard the food's really good. I heard the scenery and things to do are really awesome. So, no, that'd be cool. I love international travel with work. It's so much fun. You get to see things. Last time I went to Poland for work, I went back and met my wife in Spain. That's always a perk, right? Because the company's kind of paying for at least part of the leg of the travel. So yeah, so here I'm not going to set the priority to 0 yet until after the animation finishes. That should fix that. I hear you. It is a crazy world out there right now. Like I said, hopefully things clear up and it gets better before too long. Oh, I lost my I broke it. Okay, that was interesting. So what did I change here? I changed, let's see. What did I change? Okay, you know what? Well, interesting. Okay, so it's probably in here. I can probably set and put these. I don't want to have to do this. This is probably what I need to do. I probably need to put these up here, which means I also need to put them down here, which is really ugly. But it probably does need to happen. I don't think I actually need this. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I went to Poland just a couple years ago, and so I got to talk to a lot of people from Ukraine, and definitely interesting. Definitely interesting to get all the different kind of viewpoints around the world, right? There's a lot going on in the world, I'll say that. So, but no, I'm excited that you're still getting to travel. You're going to go to Dubai. That'll be really great. So, and that's cool that you got a chance to go do that and kind of meet those people. Was that recently, or when was that? I imagine that that probably changes your experience quite a bit. Okay, my person didn't do his attack animation. That's okay. Everything else worked pretty good except I didn't focus on move, but I can change that focus pretty easily. Okay, so I lost my attack animation. I think I know why. So I think I lost my attack animation because, let's go look how I trigger the attack animation real quick. Which is essentially, I'll go to my animation tree. Let's see how I go back, or how I go to there. Oh, into last year, yeah. So, yeah, I bet that was very surprising to people, but I bet it was an interesting experience, and I'm sure they appreciated it, right? Kind of getting to meet and talk to somebody too. So yeah, that's very interesting experience, I'm sure. So am I setting attack? So I am. Oh, you know what? It's because in the same frame I'm setting attack into true and false. I just need that. That should fix that. I need to figure out. I have a lot of waits where I'm just waiting on frames. I'm sure there is a function that is, hey, wait till the end of the frame or start at the start of the next frame. Do this. I need to go research what that is. I'll probably do that after this stream. Oh wow. Okay, so that's a problem. Which leads to problems like this, right? So now I don't want to wait 3 seconds because that will have me endlessly triggering my attack, which I don't want. So what I need to do is essentially wait like 0.01 after. All right, I'll just move attacking up. Well, no, I gotta keep this and do like 0.01. I hope at the airport you can look over the table for passport control. Being 5'0". There are, I'm 5'9" or so, but yeah, there's some. I think up like around your area. I think y'all's average height is bigger than ours. At least in Poland, everyone was very, very tall, and I'm not as used to that here. I'm in the southern part of the United States. All right, that worked pretty well, I'll say. The one thing it didn't do is refocus on move. And I think that's really easy, actually. So then I think all I have to do is take this. I can remove it from here. Actually, I do want it there. Because let me check the opposite direction where if I move first. Yeah, I remember when I passed through Germany, like I went through the like the passport or the customs, right? And I remember those like podiums where they have people being really tall for some reason. Like I was having to like reach up and hand them my passport from way up. Okay, I wanted to check to see what if I attack first is the question. Oh, I broke it. Okay, I need to fix that. Right now, if I lose my active player, I have no way to get my active player back. Average height 5.354. Yeah, that's pretty much the same here. I think my wife is 5'4". My wife might be 5'2", but I think that's pretty close to here. Well, very cool. All right, so let's see if I attack first, and then I move. Let's see if it still works. Confirm. Yes, that looked great. Fantastic. We're getting pretty close. All right. So then what I need to do is I need to, what's this next step? It's starting to come close to, I think when I need to end the stream, it's getting late. I'm losing my ability to think critically. Okay. So I've got that working out pretty well. I had a bug I need to resolve. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. I think when I go into my new mode, I need to grab focus on move. So that's pretty easy. I think that this priority section up here makes this just a lot easier to manage all this. So the big thing is not in case state 0, but in state 1. So in state 1, if ready player is 0, let's see. Okay, just that. Oh, interesting. Actually, this right here, go ahead and grab move here. After that. I think like that. Okay, let's see if that works. All right. That looks good. Look at that. I mean, that's not bad for a day. Got kind of a move-based system together. Oh, that's an issue. Actually, a bit under 5 foot tall, so you feel taller. I hear that. For a long time, I was always claiming, I was 5'10" or 5. Then I went to 5'9.5" after a while, and finally I just accept it. I just accept that I'm 5'9". I think my license still says I'm 5'10", but oh, the metric. Yeah, I do agree the metric system is better. Are you talking well, you're definitely not talking in the metric system. I do agree with you though. I mean, obviously I use both because I'm in tech, right? I'm in aerospace, but I do like the metric system better. I think the only thing is I grew up with the imperial system, right? And so like feet, inches, that kind of stuff, it's just kind of second nature. I have a reference for it. I try to, like, I set my temperature and stuff on my phone to Celsius just so I can get a sense of it, but it's so hard still. I've had it set that way for like a year, just trying to learn and like get a feel for how hot things are. And I've kind of got it, like I get when it's like 30 degrees Celsius, it's super hot, and it's like 24, it's like mild. I'm getting there. And that probably sounds really hot, but I'm in the southern United States where, we have very hot, pretty warm climate. I guess it's all over the place, but yeah, I agree with you though. Metric system's better. I really wish we would just go to the metric system, but it's really hard. Yeah, and that's fine too. I mean, I get we have a lot of military customers, and they use that time system in the military, right? I do think that's better as well. It's a lot more clear. I mean, I could say like, hey, at 3:30 do this, or
maybe more ambiguous. At 7, let's do this. And you have no idea if I'm talking AM or PM. It's just way easier to say 1900, right? All right, so I had some weird bugs in there. Probably a bug with this system here. Let's see. So I'm gonna print out my priority list here. Let's see if I can just print that all the time. So current state, priority. I got you. That makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of the best of both worlds, I think. Because yeah, naturally speaking, it was a lot easier just to use the 12-hour system. We do too. I mean, like when we send emails and stuff, a lot of times we'll use the 24-hour system. Just depends on who you're talking to. A lot of times, yeah, people with prior military experience will say use the 24-hour system, but it kind of translates into kind of everybody. It is way better when you're typing and stuff just to say like 2100, right? Or that was backwards. So yeah, kind of. That's nice to have the best of both worlds there. It's not very. I'll say it's way more common just to use the 12-hour system here than the 24-hour system. Like way more common. You just won't find that a lot. But it always is appreciated when people do. So I think here then I'm just going to print the priority list to kind of see because it looks kind of messed up. Very good, yeah. Yeah, obviously I have mine. Oh, you can't see. I have mine set up the 12-hour system too. It's 11 p.m. here now. All right, so let's see. So right now everybody's in the priority list. Huh. Okay. So that's an interesting problem. I think what's happening is it's running through this so fast that it's not switching to state 1 fast enough. 7 a.m. there? Yeah. So, yeah, it's getting late here. It's way early there. Let's see. Interesting. So I adjust it. I'm sure it started with them. Oh, pretty quickly. Kind of added it kind of added everybody just right away. Oh, that's because the priority list is everybody. Okay, I don't want priority list. I want ready player. And that should tell me who is ready and who is not. All right, yeah, that makes. I mean, we all do too, but it's still nice. I mean, it's so much easier to say something's better than actually implement it, right? Like the way I have Celsius on my phone or whatever, just trying to learn it. But like when I tell someone how hot it is, I'm never going to use Celsius. And it's not because I don't think it's better. I agree it's better. It's just nobody speaks that language. All right, so they moved twice. Let's see, why do they move twice? So I've got some sort of priority mix up there. That's kind of interesting. I'll have to figure out what's going on there. And it's possible, let me see. So let me just kind of walk through this. So I add them. I'm walking through, adding to the list. Priority.speed. And if they're over, I can say equal to or greater than 100. That's probably the problem. Let's see what their classes are. So I've got clear speed discrepancies. Huh. No, and it should set it, if it's greater than 100, it should just set it to 100. I guess I could say is greater than 100, set to 100. Very interesting. All right. So let's see. Oh no, what phone do you use? I will admit I do have a pretty new iPhone. An iPhone 7, okay. This is not bad. iPhone 7 was a solid phone, right? Mine's not like too new. It's not like an iPhone 15 or anything. I think it's like an iPhone 12 or something. Is that an iPhone? Let's check. I'll find out real quick. System. Oh man, I don't even know how to tell. Let's see some settings. iPhone. I have an iPhone. Actually, no, I don't have. I have an iPhone 13. So it's not too bad. I mean, you're a couple generations behind, but it honestly, iPhone 7, fantastic phone. You have the physical button, right? I agree. The size of the 7's really good. Is the 7 the one with the physical button? Actually, can't remember. I really liked the physical button, and then when I lost it, like I don't miss it anymore because I hadn't had it for so long. But like my iPad has one. I've got an iPad here, and I love the physical button still. Face ID, like it's okay. I like the thumbprint though. All right. So let's see. So that glitched there. I'm just gonna get more information because I'm not really sure what's going on here. I think I need to print. Need to print ready player. We'll say 0 dot priority, and that should let me see. Let's see. Current player. That should at least let me see the priority of the current player. Make small vibration present. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the button I mean. Like mine has 0 button now, like nothing at all. I guess my iPad does have a physical button. Okay, I might be thinking of the iPhone 6. I'm not sure. Okay, I gotta put this in here, I guess. I can just put it in here. Six had a real button, yeah. So I think I'm thinking 6. I missed the 7. I didn't go to the 7. I went from the 6 to the 11, and then from the 11. Oh, it's always gonna be 100, isn't it? No, it's not. Okay. Then I went from the 11 to the 13. So let's see this. 60. Okay, so it's just adding them twice. Ultimately, let's see, and then I have 20. Okay, because I added it. A click. I liked the physical button, so I had the 6. That's the last one I had, and it was nice. Like I said, it's like you don't miss it anymore, right? It's not like I'm sitting there saying, "Man, I wish I had a physical button on my phone." But I think it's the nostalgia. C Builder. I'm not sure what C Builder means. This is making a tactical RPG in Godot. Is currently what I'm doing. So I'm kind of working through what the kind of turn-based system looks like. And so I'm kind of just building a state machine based on that. It's in GD script, actually. So what you're seeing is GD script. It's a custom language for Godot. It's pretty good. It's not bad at all. Yeah, I agree. It's kind of like Python. Very, very similar. So if you're used to Python, this probably looks familiar. And it's good, honestly. It's very versatile, very easy to kind of work with, maneuver, and very intuitive as well. And it's got great documentation. Honestly, like the documentation here for everything is really good. I almost never have to go to outside sources to search anything. And then it's all integrated, right? So I can come here and I can look up the symbol and it'll take me to the page. It's a pretty good developer environment. Pretty nice IDE. So let's see. So the glitch I'm running into then is it's just running into this twice and adding them to the list twice right here. So I'm running advanced priority too many times. Let's see. That's interesting. I do need to run it when I'm in state 0, but it should run it exactly once and then go to state 1. But the problem is, I see what it is. Okay, this is a pretty easy fix, I think, actually. I think I say if ready player dot size is greater than 0, current state equals 2 or equals 1. So I still want this. And then else current state is 0. That should do it. That should keep me from doubling up on here. We'll see what happens though. All right. Let's see. So then I should be able to move, attack. Oh, interesting. Oh, because dang it. I can still fix that here. Sounds good. Well, enjoy your breakfast or your brunch. And yeah, hope to catch you again soon. Thanks for hanging out. Had a good time talking to you. Snacks are good. I might go get me some snacks before bed here in a moment myself. It's about that time. All right. So I think I can do that. And basically, if I do want to advance priority every time. Man, this is tough. I think what I want to do. Okay, let's go back to what I was looking at here. So advanced priority is good. Maybe I do want this to be... No, it can't be greater than 100. Okay, go here. All right, so I know the problem. So I'm going to pull that out and go to current state of 0. I guess after I add this, after I add the character, I could reset priority. Well, I don't want to reset priority back to 0. So I need to track it. But I don't want to add them to the list again. Interesting. So essentially, I want to add them once. That time I did only add them once, but it's because I never went back to state 0 to advance the priority. And I do need to advance the priority anyway, because I need all the other characters to catch up. I guess not. They should advance priority after. So actually, that does make sense. It should only advance priority if nobody's at full priority. Otherwise, just go ahead. Okay. I feel pretty good about that. I think that works. Let's check. So, yeah, that looks good. I would attack. Go to my next person. That looks good. Attack. Okay. Let's go back to the next person. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Not bad. Now I have turns. Now I have a turn-based RPG. I think that counts. I think by the most basic definition of turn-based RPG, I'm there. That's pretty good. And then pretty soon, after I finish all these, it might be a little bit because those other folks' speeds are like 1/4 of what these guys are. There we go. I do need to reset my target cell. You can see it kind of jumping around. But that's pretty good. All right. So far this feels pretty good. I want to test a couple things. So that's a bug. Let me capture that. It's essentially reset target cell back to character position after turn ends. You can see it kind of jump. It'll do it again, I'm sure. Okay. I feel pretty good about this though. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and kill somebody real quick. Ultimately though, yeah, not bad. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so they've got 10 points left. coming along. I probably need to equalize our speeds a little bit across classes. Okay. Oops. That feels pretty good. Okay, the one thing also I need to do is need a way to end turns before using all priority, and need to have return button return back to active player. That should be pretty easy, I think. Actually, I think I could do that in just a few seconds, but I'm not quite there. Okay, so this should be the death blow, and there you go. Dead. Fantastic. I think that means we have an RPG. There's a lot of things I still need to do. I think I'm going to call this goal done, which actually went above and beyond. So I've got the health and attack functions. I've got turns. I think here now I want to goal. I don't want to develop AI yet. I want to keep working on attack and health functions, really attack functions. So I'll say goal, finish, single player, turn-based fight, right? So I want to take a fight all the way to the end. And what I mean by that, let me see if I can move this over, potentially. Oh man, not that. Okay. Essentially what I want to do here is I want it to know, right? If everybody's unconscious, I want to have teams. So I already have the team set up. I want to have like 2-on-2 or something. When one team is unconscious, I want it to say end, whatever it is, right? I just want to kind of finish like a turn-based fight. I think we're really close. First thing I'm going to start with is these things. So I'm going to start with this one, or this one, I guess, because this is, I think, really easy. Return to black, return button, return back to active player. Should be pretty straightforward. Let's see. What I would do here is on my return call, which I think is under camera. I can go to return. Yeah, and instead here, target cell exactly predicted, sure. I think when I hit this, I don't think I care about active player as much. Or return trigger and has active player. Maybe I'll keep that one, but if I hit the button, what I want to do is I want to say world.activePlayer equals, I do want this callable. So basically just reach out to player priority. Player priority dot, let's see. Player priority dot ready player 0. Basically, who is the current player? Camera? Is it here? Ready player 0. That should fix that. That should let me kind of go off and go do a thing and come back. So, oh, it did not like that. Invalid get node. Interesting. Oh, because it's in the same. Okay. So I just need like an await in there. There's got to be a function to just wait for the next frame. I don't know what it is, so I need to go figure that out. But for now, oops. For now on the camera, let's see. Like this. So set my active player, wait 1/100th of a second, and then set my current position to be at the feet of the active player. That should work. Okay, I can go explore, hit that. Invalid type. Cannot convert argument 1 in object to node path. Oh, okay. It's because it's a, okay. That's easy here. It's not going to be ready player. It's going to be ready player dot get path. And it's going to be string of that. Should be like that. And that should let me, that should, oh, I missed the function call. Just like that. All right. So now I should be able to kind of play here. I need to speed up those animations. Okay. Oh, I see. So I think I want to get rid of return triggered. Hey, Kyovect. Doing well. I am currently working on kind of getting my turn-based fight working, and it's getting pretty close, actually. How are you doing? I need to add something in here to basically say if... Let's see. Do a couple things here. Basically, I can say if has node. Oh, gotcha. Sorry, yeah. I am working on my kind of getting my turn. So I'm working on a tactical RPG right now. I started this about a month ago or so. We're kind of working on RPG. It's been a lot of fun. We are currently working on getting the turns working. So I kind of got the movement ready. I got a very super simple attack function working and some health. So now I'm trying to develop kind of a, hey, if I was going to have a fight, right, between all these people in these different teams, what does that look like? There's not going to be any AI or anything yet. And so that's what I'm working on. I'll show it to you here in a second once I get rid of these bugs so I can show you where we're at. We are coming along pretty good, making a lot of good progress. It's been pretty quick. I've really liked Godot. Godot has been really good for what I'm looking for, right? I mentioned I was pretty new to game development, so I haven't been in other engines, but yeah, it's been pretty good. So you can see here, we have turn-based things working. We have movement pretty good. It feels pretty good, right? I also have some things I'm working on as far as like being able to come off here and then return back to the player. So I've just coded that. That was the first test. It was successful. Great job. And awesome. What are you making in Godot? What kind of game are you kind of working on? All right. So here, I'm just going to kind of play this out for a second, test a couple things. I'm looking for bugs, really. So that feels pretty good. Mining simulator. Nice. That's cool. I consider doing that for kind of a first game. Not a mining simulator, but kind of like a more chill game. This is obviously the opposite of a chill game, but I think that'd be a really fun game to make, and I think Godot is perfect for it. Do you have any cool like lore quirks behind it or anything, or will it be pretty just kind of a chill simulator where you're building up a mine? Is that kind of what you're thinking? Like more on the terms of like, well, this is gonna be bad. The only game I think of when I think of like those simulators, I know there are like hundreds, right? I've seen like grocery store simulator and farming simulator and all those, but I always think of the lemonade stand game, right? The Lemonade Tycoon, where you go and you develop a lemonade stand and you add upgrades and so on. But man, I'm a big fan of those games. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna go into negative priority here. That's okay. The game doesn't care. Oh, except that it's not 0. So it gets stuck. Okay. So I do need a way to end turns before using all priority, and need a way to not go to negative priority. This last one's pretty easy. I think I just go to my movement and attack nodes, and say, hey, if you don't have enough priority, don't do it, which is pretty easy. So I think here I could say if button pressed and character priority is greater than 4. Actually, I don't want to do that here because it would get really annoying to, oh, interesting. Okay. When does it, they should never happen, I guess, first off. I'm probably going to leave that out for now. I just need a way to end my turn. And I need to essentially say if I've moved, don't move again. So you have to mine rocks and start and then upgrade to go to deeper mines. That's cool. Yeah. That'll be fun. Yeah. And then just expanding that. I feel like that sort of game, there's so much freedom to just expand on it and add to it. That'll be a lot of fun. Well, very cool. Well, I'm excited for you. That'll be pretty sweet. Okay, so I need a way to end my turn early. Let me think of how you would do that. Let's just see what's natural. Yeah, I hear you. That's good. And then, are you familiar with coding? What's your background? Is it more coding, more art, more none of that? Is this all pretty fresh to you? I agree. Yeah, it's been pretty good to learn. Which is good. Okay, so I need a way. Like if I was going to end my turn, I would probably have like a wait. I think I'm going to replace the ability with wait for now. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Very, very cool. Actually, so I started coding initially writing scripts for a game called Ultima Online. Not quite modding, but that's cool. I think that's a good way to learn coding, so you're probably a leg up. Yeah, that's fun. I think so. For me, I think the hardest part is like the art part, right? Which luckily there are a lot of assets just available online, so I've been able to pull a lot of stuff from like Mixamo and stuff. But I do want a specific style. I think that's where I'm going to really struggle. So for now, getting the mechanics down, it's not too bad. Coding is not too bad. Working through the bugs, kind of getting there. Not terrible, but as soon as I start trying to do the art, I'm going to have a really hard time. I imagine your background, like in modding, especially with like role-playing GTA, it's probably pretty art heavy as well. So I bet that really sets you up pretty well to be able to develop a game, which is sweet. It's cool that it's so accessible. Of course, I'm not trying to diminish the work that goes into preparing and developing yourself so that you can develop a game, but that's okay, no big deal. We're just chatting anyway. I was essentially just saying that I bet your background's really good for game development. All right. I'm just about finished for tonight. I think I'm getting to past the point of diminishing returns here. I'm probably gonna do one more thing. I do have this coded now, which is great. I do want a way to end turns. Hey, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that. Hopefully I'll see you around again here soon. I'll definitely be streaming again. Let's see. So tonight is Monday night. May be back on tomorrow. It just kind of depends what's going on. No, tomorrow I will not be back on. Probably around Wednesday. Oh, it's 4 a.m. for you. Oh, wow. Okay. So you're like Europe. It's 11:30 p.m. here. So yeah, that's okay. Jump in when you can. Ireland, nice. Ireland is on my top 3 places I want to visit. I would love to go to Ireland. Never been. I've been to the UK. Never Ireland though. Need to make a trip out there. It looks beautiful. Okay, well maybe I'll avoid that part of Dublin. Sweet. Well, I hope you have a good trip there. So yeah, I'm probably gonna head out here. I will find somebody to raid really quick. When we get back on probably Wednesday, I'll continue this. I'll kind of work through this, try to figure out how to end turns. We made a lot of progress today. If you saw where we were at the beginning, we didn't have any turns. We barely were attacking, and now we've almost got something. I won't say it's playable, but it's getting there. So obviously still a lot of work. But I am pretty happy with where we're going. So let me just find someone real quick to raid. And you're welcome to raid with them or not. I don't know a lot of people here, so in this community yet. So it's just a way for me to jump in there and talk to them and get a chance to kind of get to know them. But you're always welcome, of course, to kind of head out. So I'll raid this person named Nimsy. Let's see. Again, I don't know who they are. So best of luck if you're hanging out with me. If not, then I'll catch you here sometime soon. But thanks for hanging out and had a good time talking. Thanks.